Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going through the fantasy team review for round 9. I ended up scoring a 2069, which puts me at a round rank of 20,567 and an overall rank of 14,682. Yep, just not the year that I really wanted to have. A lot of decisions are just backfiring in general. And that's the way it's been. And definitely just going for sort of the outrageous plays the last couple of weeks has, again, not worked as well. But anyway, before we jump into this video, well, I guess we'll just jump in and we'll do it later. Dane Zorko, 137. Yeah, he bounced back finally. He finally had that good week. 39 touches, 8 marks. I didn't end up watching any of this game in general. I don't think I watched much of the Sunday games as well. But yeah, Dane Zorko with a 137 definitely did help. Probably hold rank. I only went up, I think, 400 ranks or so in the round, so it wasn't the best round either. I've sort of already shifted my focus, I would say, onto the AFL W and all that there, doing my initial research alongside some others to get ahead in that at least. Jack Sinclair, 95. He did, again, all right, but nothing special. And yeah, it just feels like this year I haven't been able to get the big sort of big scores, the 140s, 50s pluses that we see a lot of players do. If we just look at the last round, you'll see there was quite a few 130s that yeah, I just obviously missed. That would have been great to have. Matty Roberts, 94, but it wasn't a good display from him, as we talked about in the game reviews for Saturday, that you would have seen that video go live as well recently. Trent Rivers, 74. I didn't actually touch on him in that video, but he had 23 touches, 5 marks, and 1 tackle. He got released into that sort of midfield mix in the, I think it was the third quarter or so. Let me actually just see if I can find it for you, because I think DFS with their new feature does allow you to see the CBAs by quarter. If I go Trent Rivers here, let's just see if it gives me the quarter by quarter for, no, not State League, quarter by quarter for CBAs. It doesn't currently have it up, but you can see how volatile it is for him. CBAs in quarters here, CBAs in quarters here. And yeah, so he just had a stinker of a game in general. And so, yeah, that really does suck, to be honest. And so, yeah, I would like to have seen him get more CBA time. As you can see here, it seems like he's just a guy that doesn't really score and then scores in bunches. So yeah, not the best selection, to be honest with you. To go back and change that, I should have just gone with Marek there, and that would have solved a lot of problems. To be honest with you, should have done that, but obviously didn't. And I'm pretty sure the spread is already something like, if we just look quickly here, 88-74, I wouldn't be surprised if the spread is already about 30-40 points in general with that decision there, as well as just an extra sort of 50-60k, I would think. Maybe even more like 100k spare that I would have. But it is what it is. Riley Bias, 66, his role has just sort of really diminished. He just can't find his way to get towards the footy as much. Sydney just look even worse. And yeah, when your side isn't getting as many touches as the other team, when you're down about 60-70 touches, it's hard for halfbacks to score generally well. Zach Reed, 118, on the other hand, he was getting a lot of it. He had 20 touches at halftime or something like that, and ended up on 27 touches, 14 marks for a 118. And then Leake and Carroll did not play, but it looks like we're going to get Carroll back this week, as the Carlton Footy Club had a mass injury crisis, I would say, almost in a way, in the game that they played. Nick Dacos, 67, got tagged out of it, and yeah, that just really sucks. Tagging this year has been the bane of this whole year, and Nick Dacos is now at a 101.4 and is going to be pretty gettable for some people in a couple weeks' time, you would expect. Harry Sheasel, 103, he did all right with 29 touches, 7 marks and 3 tackles, and got to a 103, so he wasn't the worst, but wasn't the greatest either. Connor Rosie, 122, he's standing up and will probably float into the back line and then allow me to upgrade Matty Roberts or something to sort of a primo. So yeah, he's just sitting there, I guess. Jai Newcomb, 67. This is why I shouldn't have gone for him. Should have gone for someone like a Tom Green or even a Ed Richards at that point, would have been a smarter play. So yeah, there's just plenty of guys that I could have gone for. Even just a Luke Ryan at that interval would have gone 94, 98, 122, and that would have been even better. Andy Brayshaw probably could have gone for at that point as well, and it would have been a better choice. So pretty much anyone other than Newcomb would have been a better choice. He got tagged out of the game against Melbourne, which is really annoying because I picked him up for this run where we had a really kind run, and he's gone and returned 87 or something in the last 3 games, which is not advisable. Caleb Strong, a really bad starting pick. So yeah, that pretty much set me off on the wrong foot itself. 77 last 3 isn't the greatest either. He's really just fallen off. Isaac Rankin, brought him in for a 77. Should have just brought in the Tristan Cherry matchup, or just gone for another sort of 900k guy. There was plenty out there as well that I could have gone for, as Rankin did end up going up 5k. So anyone 946 or below at the time I could have gone for. Should have probably gone for the Max Holmes matchup now thinking about it, given that Bedford was out. Should have gone for that and targeted that, but I didn't. Xavier Lindsay, 44, he just really struggled. And then Hugh Boxall, 38, really struggled. Oh, I'm going to have to... Why did that... I didn't press anything and it's just shown that. Well, those were my projected trades, but they're obviously going to change, I have a feeling. Max Gawn, 226 in the end with the doubles. So, yeah, had to just rely on Max to sort of get me out of hole there after the Nick Dacos got tagged. Probably should have taken the VC off Dacos and run a Gawn into someone else. But I would have probably come into this situation of having to take... someone else's score, but then again, I could have just gone a leak through Zach Reed through James Leak combination if I did end up taking the VC of Max Gawn. And then a TDK 104, Bailey Smith 149. I'm probably going to potentially VC him. Is he in a good VC position? Nope. He is, where is he? He's in the Saturday 4:15 slot. That actually could be a good VC, but then you've got Collingwood, you've got Nick Dacos against Adelaide. That could be interesting. But yeah, that is a potential VC slot, I would say. And there's no one else really that I like too much outside of that, to be honest with you. I don't really, that's the problem with the side at the moment. Don't really have too many captaincy options. Don't have the high-end players. I've sort of got a lot of that 20 to 40 region and not really those top 20 players. Petrarca, 92. Jack McRae, 75. McRae really did struggle. Jason Horne-Francis, an 89 as well. He's just doing exactly what I thought he'd do. I wish I'd gone Rankin from the start, as that would have been 6 points per game now after, what's it now, 9 games compared to 9. They both played 9 games, so that would be already somewhere close to like it's 47 points or something already that those two have differentiated each other from. 47 points plus the 100k would have been immense, I feel like. So yeah, that really does suck. Caleb Daniel, 57. He really just didn't do anything, and it is probably go time for him. His disposals now and everything is down with Harry Sheasel in the back line. Levi Ashcroft, an 84. He ended up being a really, really good just hold throughout this all and is now into some cash generation. He's gone up 37k this week, 746k. In a couple of weeks' time, we can probably upgrade him to a top end midfielder as we're starting to sort of get that forward line completed. And I would say Levi's close to being a top forward, but also at the same time, you can use his cash generation to do an easy 1-up, 1-down, as cash is really struggling at the moment. So yeah, we'll probably use him in an upgrade, I would think, in the near future, but not this week. And Caden Cleary probably needs to go soon. We just have basically no players to jump on here, I would say. If we go to break even and then go to even just the forward line for a second here, you'll see Cooper Simpson's probably the only guy to jump on, and I don't even know about his role, but he could be actually a decent guy to look at jumping on there, as well, as that could actually help to enable me to do easier trade-ins. So yeah, I'll just actually do this, and then let's just roll back the trades that I had in general. If I was to go something like, and this sounds crazy to do, but if I was to go Cleary out for, say, a Simpson, if we were just to do that, that would leave me with 261k. Now, 261k on top of the likes of a Xavier Lindsay actually gets me almost a perfect trade. If I was to do this, it would get me to Marek, which Marek had a pretty good last quarter against the Tigers. but has actually been going in the last 3, 91, last 5, 85. Its break even of 52 could actually go there. Let's actually just check any players that I can afford. Could also afford the likes of Peatling as well if I did get him into the backline, which I can find ways to get him into the backline, I swear. Let's just see if I can grab up a sort of a backline player, a defender here. Let's just see. Blickarves, Holmes, Bergman. What is Holmes was just outside the price range, wasn't he? 902k, not 801. Okay, so that's interesting to see sort of the player potential that you can jump on here. But yeah, there's not, I would say, too much, but there's at least something that I could potentially jump on here. We'll just see about this, but yeah, it could be interesting to jump out of Cleary and Xavier Lindsay, but also can jump out of Bice, and then suddenly I think the options I think open up massively, like even going up to a Holmes or something like that, but then also players I can afford. I can get up to a Jordan Clark as well, who's going to be close to top of the line as well. I could also, in the midfield, jump on a Holmes, Peatling, Warple, etc., Parker, etc., all there. And then in the, if I was to not even bother doing that, and then just go to the forward line, is there any other forwards that I could potentially jump on? I don't really like any of the forwards there, but then again, we'll see about it. But yeah, there's a massive potential for me to just do something like this here, and then make that trade there, and then roll with this side here for the next week. We'll see how that that rolls. But yeah, Holmes against Port Adelaide could be interesting as well. As if we go against the opponents, he has averaged only 75 against them, so maybe not. But yeah, we'll see. But that is probably the avenue that I'll go down with my trades, is something like a Bice and Cleary to a Simpson and a Holmes if Simpson plays. Don't know if he will, but I thought he looked pretty good in the time that he got. So yeah, we'll see about that. But anyway, let me just see if there's anyone else that I sort of like in general. I think Callahan could grab him back, could grab Chero. No, there's no one there. So maybe a Jordan Clark actually is the best option, who's gone 98 in his last 3, including a 61 against the Saints. But if you take out that 61, it hasn't really done anything outstanding. And could go Bailey Dale, who has had some very, very off games, but did look back to his best against the Suns themselves. Jaden Shaw obviously out. Yeah, it'll be interesting what I do, but yeah, we'll see what happens in the end, what I go for. But anyway, that is the video there. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and I will see you guys in the Supercoach recap for round 9 as well. Bye guys.